You're listening to the Adventurous Reinvention Podcast. I'm Allison Boyle, aka She Dreams of Alpine, and this is the show that's dedicated to all the adventurous spirits out there who have either been transformed by the outdoors or are interested in what it looks like to step into a new, adventurous, and courageous kind of identity in their life. It doesn't matter what your background is in the outdoors, what age you're starting at, or where you grew up. If you're curious about the outdoors and using adventure as a way to reinvent yourself, you're in the right place. I'll be sharing all kinds of personal adventure stories, lessons I've learned from the mountains, teaching what I know about the outdoors and leadership, and interviewing some amazing adventurous women all along the way. I've been coaching women on becoming safe, confident, and self-sufficient backpackers and leaders of their own adventurous lives since 2018, and I know exactly what big fears and self-doubts can pop up along the way. I have so much to share with you, so let's dive in. Welcome to my brand new podcast, the Adventurous Reinvention Podcast. My name is Allison. I am the founder and CEO of She Dreams of Alpine. And I started off as a blogger back in 2018, but now I am a full-time outdoor educator and I'm also a certified life coach. My mission is to help women feel more confident and self-sufficient in the outdoors, out on the trail, whether they're backpacking or doing anything, hiking, climbing, whatever their curiosity is taking them to in the outdoors. And I do this in multiple ways. So I have my main program. It's called the Backpacking Badass Program. It's an online program. It's also a community, and we do ongoing coaching in there as well. But this teaches you everything you need to know about getting started backpacking so that you can be safe, confident, and self-sufficient. And most importantly, you don't have to wait around on others to invite you along to have amazing adventures. So this is my main program that I teach. And at this point, we've taught over 1,700 women inside that program since I first opened it in 2019. I also run another program that's called the Adventurous Reinvention Experience. And this is kind of like a hybrid program. It's a 4-month coaching container with a small group of women. And it's also an in-person retreat. So I take 2 groups of women, usually they're groups of 12, and we kind of have a coaching container together all summer. And then we end that experience in an in-person epic adventure. And we use our 4 months together to create and craft and understand, like, what would it look like to have our lives make us feel as excited and alive as we do when we're out there on the trail, when we're outside, when we're backpacking, and we're really like aligned and in tune with our life. So we kind of explore like what we're curious about, what we want to create, and look at what it takes to create that kind of life. And then we also get to have some fun, and we go out and form bonds and have amazing adventures out on the trail. So that is my second program. We've been running that since 2023. So we've run 2 cohorts, and I expect that we'll continue running that program, right? These are my 2 main things that we do at She Dreams of Alpine, and we do also run some rock climbing retreats because I hold a special place in my heart for rock climbing. It's had an important part in my journey as an outdoorsy woman and an adventurous woman. So I love having those retreats as well. I have a small team, and it's me and 3 other women, and we run this show. And I have been wanting to start a podcast for about 2 years now. But if you know, running a business has so many things that can distract you and take your attention and energy away. And so I've just kept putting this off. And this year I was like, this is the year I want to finally do this thing and put this out there and just see what happens. Like I wanted it to be a way that I could connect in a deeper way with my audience and my clients and share some things that are a little bit more personal on my mind, different experiences, different stories, all the things. So that is kind of why I wanted to start this. And I wanted to have another space to combine my love for the mountains and the outdoors and education and my love for self-growth and development. So the outdoors changed my life in so many ways. And my first 2 episodes of the show are going to dive into kind of my own personal reinvention story, and the outdoors plays a really big role in that. So if you don't know my story very well, You're going to learn all about it. But I didn't grow up in the outdoors. I'm actually from Texas, and I didn't, go on my very first adventure until I was like in my mid-20s. So, as you can tell, now being an outdoor educator full time and coaching hundreds of women in doing this themselves, my life has taken a 180 from being that girl in Texas. So I'm going to share a little bit about that. And I'm also going to share a little bit about how I started She Dreams of Alpine, because people always kind of wonder about that transition. Like, how did I do it? Why? What gave me the confidence to do those things? So I'm really excited to kind of give you a behind the scenes look of my own personal reinvention story, and maybe as a way to inspire you on your own, right? And I just love talking about this stuff and helping women step into their own power and see just how truly badass and strong and incredible they are, no matter where they're starting at, like what age they are, where they were born, none of the things. Like, if you have a dream, like, I want to be the person that's cheering you on to go for it, right? I believe every woman has the ability to step into this kind of like adventurous version of themselves if that's something they want to pursue. And they have the ability to become not only just adventurous, but like leaders in their own adventurous pursuits as well. And I think women make great leaders, which is why I'm so passionate about teaching women to feel confident in that space. So I'm going to do my best to make this a weekly show. My intention is to share a mix of personal stories, lessons I've learned from the mountains, both like internal lessons and external lessons. I also want to interview other adventurous women and share like from all walks of life and experiences, and friends of mine that I know have so much to share here on this podcast. So I'm really excited to do that. Again, my intention is to be consistent and share weekly podcast episodes. Of course, there might be times where I have seasons of rest. In our team, we have a team value. We call it rest and adventure is essential. And I lean into that. I live by example. So sometimes there are seasons where I need to kind of like slow down and fill up my cup again in order to feel creative and to serve and to give value to my clients. So there could be some times where maybe either the podcast takes a pause, maybe a seasonal pause, or we put in some, I've had this idea to share some trail episodes, some like behind the scene trail episodes. And I actually already have a couple of them recorded from a few adventures in the past, because like I said, I've been having this idea for a podcast for a while. So I actually have behind the scenes of my John Muir Trail hike. And I also did this epic adventure with one of my friends this past year in the Grand Canyon. It was one of the hardest backpacking trips I've ever done. And that's after like 11 years of backpacking. It tested me in all the mental grit ways and technicality. It just was a combination of a lot of things. And it's in the Grand Canyon, which is a place that's like, will always test you no matter what level of trail is. So we did, me and my friend on that trail, it was two of us women and doing it for the first time. Neither of us had ever done it before. And yeah, we just recorded a nightly podcast of our experience. So I may like from time to time share stuff like that as well. So if you are excited to be here, if you're new to my world, you want to learn more about me, definitely stick around and keep tuning into this podcast. And I'm learning as I go. I'm brand new to podcasting, and I'm just wanting to be an example here of if you have a dream, you don't have to be an over perfectionist about it. This is something I talk about with my clients all the time. We don't need everything to be perfect to get started. And this is exactly how I started my business. You have an idea, you just do your best, you get out there, and each day you work on it a little bit more and you get better at it. So I'm going to just live by that example, and I'm going to get better at this podcast with time, but I'm really excited to have this new space to share with you, to be a little bit more intimate and share some more vulnerable things, more behind the scene things, and really tie my love for the outdoors with my love for personal development and self-growth. So excited. Again, if you're new to my world, I recommend going to my website and grabbing my Outdoor Backpacker Starter Kit at shedreamsofalpine.com/kit. This starter kit is filled with over 14 pages of my best hiking and backpacking tips to help you learn what it takes to become a safe, confident, and self-sufficient outdoor backpacker. It's a great place to start if you're new to all the things and you kind of want to get a taste of what my learning and teaching style is, and you want to learn a little bit more about my methods. We have a 5-step framework that we teach our clients, and I have that kind of outlined in that PDF file, as well as a lot of other like tips and goodies inside of there. So again, you can grab that at shedreamsofalpine.com/kit. And you can also find me and connect with me on social media. Basically, all of my social media handles are going to be at She Dreams of Alpine, and I would love to connect with you. Come say hi, hit me up in the DMs. We can have a conversation. Mostly, I'm just so excited that you're here. Thank you if you're listening to this. This is one of my very first episodes. It's a little bit of a trailer, a little teaser of what's to come. I'm so excited you're here. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, I wanted to thank you real quick for tuning into the show and listening all the way to the end. If you love this episode and you want deeper support in becoming a safe, confident, and self-sufficient hiker and backpacker, then head over to shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist to learn more about our Backpacking Badass coaching program, where I teach you absolutely everything you need to know to be self-reliant on the trails and stop waiting around on others for the adventure invite. So I'd love to help you more in your journey of stepping into your adventurous identity, and that program is the absolute best place for us to start working together. So again, that's shedreamsofalpine.com/waitlist, and you can learn all about it there. So that's it for today, folks. I hope you get to spend some time outside this week, and I'll be back very soon with a brand new episode. Bye.